Good morning, everyone. They put me in charge today. I've replaced one of your microphones with cake. You won't know until you press the button. I would start today if I ask Ms. McShay to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. So we can get started with the consent items. The first is to approve the board minutes from our last meeting.
Move approval of the consent agenda.
Thank you. So, motion carries.
So we need to just take a vote. We have
Oh,
a
I'm
motion
sorry.
and a second.
Yeah, motion second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. The second consent item is to accept the financial and investment report from December of '25.
Move approval.
Second.
All in favor? Okay. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. Am I starting with this?
Yes, with the artist.
Which one?
You can start with the first one, work your way down.
Okay. All right, so in the for the action items, we are starting with the community council appointment approval, and I have Ms. Garcia to present to us.
Good morning. My name is Yadidis Garcia. I am the Community Engagement Manager, and it is today my pleasure to introduce to you a new member for the Mid-County Community Council, Dr. Alicia Pons. She's a community organizer and program developer, and she is very strong with community collaboration. She assists both corporate and nonprofit organizations to achieve success. Her career experience includes marketing, banking, accounting, technology, consultant, public service, and public education. Building on her extensive background, Dr. Pons led several impactful projects, including PeopleSoft system implementations, student industry certifications, and robotics competitions. Dr. Pons' passion is helping the community. As an Eckerd College program for experienced learner student, she assists the JWB's mission by completing qualitative research analysis to start the neighborhood family centers. Working with the Pinellas County Sheriff's Office, Dr. Pons served as an AmeriCorps Vista member. In this role, she received the first National Getting Things Done Award for an individual as an AmeriCorps member. As a JWB Council member, Dr. Pons looks forward to serving with passion, empathy, and dedication. Upon approval of this appointment, we will have 40 active community councils throughout Pinellas County, and Dr. Pons is here with us today if you may have any questions. Dr. Pons?
Are there any questions for Dr. Pons?
Thank you.
Madam Chair, I move to approve the appointment of Dr. Pons to the Community Council.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Those opposed?
Any opposed? Need cards. Hearing none, Dr. Pons, welcome to JWB's Community Council. Okay, the next action item is the approval of the new payroll software and services agreement. I have Ms. Leslie Porter.
Yes. Good morning. Leslie Porter, Director of Accounting Controller here at JWB. The item I have for you this morning is to consider approval of a new payroll software and services agreement. JWB has contracted with Paycor for payroll processing and services since January of 2014. The existing agreement is outdated and does not address current data privacy, information security, and operational standards that are required to process employee payroll and annual W-2s. Over the past year, JWB staff has collaborated with Paycor and JWB Legal to review and revise the updated agreement. This agreement incorporates current data production standards, including enhanced security obligations, breach notification requirements, and it will now align with the current state of Florida requirements. JWB has currently budgeted $25,410 for FY '26. The total cost of the agreement will increase to $27,647.66. Overall increase of $2,237.66. So billing is based on volume, so that can fluctuate as the staffing levels increase and decrease for JWB. The increase will be absorbed into the approved budget for contractual services information technology account. This agreement will auto-renew. Per JWB board policy, administrative contracts are reviewed at least every 5 years. Recommendations for continuation of funding, restructuring, rebidding, or contract termination will be brought before the Chief Executive Officer for approval. I have 2 action items to ask that you consider. The first is to authorize the Chief Executive Officer or designee to finalize and execute all related documents to the new agreement with Paycor, Inc. for payroll processing and services, incorporating updated privacy, security, and compliance terms.
Can I have a motion to approve the CEO approval of the Paycor, Inc.?
Yes, to finalize and execute all the documents with the new agreement with Paycor.
Unless there's any questions.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second the motion, Sarah Mola.
All in favor? Any opposed?
Thank you.
Motion carries.
The second action item I ask for consideration is authorizing the Chief Executive Officer or designee to finalize a transition plan ensuring uninterrupted payroll operations and terminating the 2014 agreement.
Second.
All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Okay, the next action item we have is to approve the Catalyst Communications Group agreement. And I have Ms. Dodd.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. My name is Jennifer Dodd. I am JWB's Associate Manager of Communications. Also with me today is our rockstar procurement team, JWB's Manager of Procurement Programs and Business Services, Kelly Grossman, and our own Senior Contract Manager, Gail Cox. We would not be in front of you today without these powerful people. The communications team would also like to recognize the founder and CEO of Catalyst Communications Group, Preston, and Executive Vice President Peter Rogar, who are with us today and can make themselves available if the board has any questions after I present our action item to you. JWB's strategic communications team is responsible for internal and external communications on behalf of the organization. We also oversee the marketing, media relations, and public relations activities to promote JWB's mission and expand public understanding and appreciation of the value and benefit we bring to the community. Over the past decade, JWB has grown our campaigns and initiatives. This is our work, and these are our stories to tell. And so at this time, our team is seeking to expand our capacity and our expertise by contracting with a seasoned strategic communications firm specializing in media, public relations, and crisis communications. That firm is Catalyst Communications Group. They bring decades of experience working both in the news media as journalists and with media outlets as public relations directors. It's no wonder then, during our due diligence, that their name kept coming up. We learned that Catalyst Communications Group has already entered into a competitive procurement agreement with another local government entity, Pinellas Suncoast Transit Authority. That agreement was effective May 2023 and will run through May 2028. Because JWB is authorized to piggyback on other government contracts in accordance with JWB board policy, we're here today to ask the board to approve JWB's utilization of that cooperative purchasing agreement between PSTA and Catalyst Communications Group. Our annual contract amount is not to exceed $65,000. That's a flat fee retainer of $60,000 for strategic communications, media and public relations, and crisis communications. This breaks down to $5,000 or roughly 25 hours a month. I'm sorry, $5,000 or roughly 25 hours a month. We've also allocated $5,000 for additional services, such as videography, as needed. With the board's approval, we would immediately enter a contract that will run through February 19 of 2027, with 2 additional one-year renewal options that we would bring back to the board. At this time, I'd like to ask for the board's approval of this action item.
Are there any questions or any discussion for questions for Ms. Dodd?
I'd like to hear from the group directly.
Wonderful.
I'll just kind of give you a quick elevator speech on the company, just so you kind of know a little bit about us. Some of you may know me from my years as a reporter. I worked in this market for about 14 years at Channel 10. Left that in 2014, went to work for Congressman David Jolly when David represented Pinellas County. Worked with David for the 3 years that he was in office as his communications director, going between here and Washington, D.C. When David left office, I started Catalyst Communications Group. It was myself and just a couple of clients at the beginning. We've built over the last 9 years that we've been in the community a team of 17 people now. We represent a range of clients, some nonprofits, some for-profit clients. Some of the agencies that you'd be familiar with that we work with, Tampa Bay Water, we've been working with them now for 3 years. PSTA, we've really been with PSTA now for, I want to say, 6 years. And then we work with a host of other clients. A couple of things just about us. You're not going to go online and see who our clients are. We typically don't. We're not that kind of a firm. We like to work behind the scenes. I think that's kind of in our DNA. Most of the people on our team worked as reporters, experienced from the Times to television to radio, worked on political campaigns, kind of a whole range of depth, if you will. And I think that we bring that to our clients, and our focus is always on our clients, making sure that what your goals are, in this particular case, with your organization, making sure that we can achieve for whatever you're looking for. And obviously, when you run into issues, if it's a crisis or something like that, I think we've got years of experience that we can handle that as well. So, any specific questions I can answer for you about our firm, or?
Oh, yeah, just Mr. Rudy, on top of, media interaction and those things, how can you amplify JWB's message and also help with engagement with our constituents, with the children and families of Pinellas County, letting them know about events, about programs? I would imagine that's going to be a lot of what you're doing.
Yeah, so we work with a number of agencies. I'll give you an example, like the Florida Aquarium is a nonprofit. We've been working with the Florida Aquarium for, I think, 7 years now. They have an internal communications team that we work closely with. So what we would do is we'd want to set up a cadence with meetings, whether it be every other week or whatever. But we can help amplify the things that you're doing, finding ways to take stories to maybe different outlets that you're not reaching right now. I like to say this, I mean, and I'm kind of cautious when I say this. You can't find a firm that has stronger relationships with the media than our firm. And that's primarily because of the 17 people that we have on our team. 15 of us have worked in the media as reporters. We have close to 300 years of experience working as reporters now. We understand kind of like what's a story, what you need for the story, who's going to be interested in that story. So I think working with your team, we'll want to identify positive stories, things that are important to you that you want to get out. Maybe there are organizations and outlets that you're not reaching out to, whether it be, let's say, a radio interview. Let's say it's an online publication. We'll really want to kind of dig in and find out, like, where's the best way that we can tell your story and what outlets that we can use to amplify that. Yeah.
Are we essentially then piggybacking onto the PSTA
Correct.
deal here? I mean, it just so seems differently.
Yeah.
PSTA, and then you got JWB, so they don't have really anything together, similarities, but it's just a contractual way of
Correct.
doing it.
Correct. A number of government agencies have it. They're allowed to piggyback on a contract as long as they've gone through an RFP process. So I think the conversations that you all had was where that they kept coming back to us and they asked us, do you have any contracts that we could piggyback off of? So we gave them a couple of options and they said the PSTA one works great for us. And I think on the PSTA procurement process, I think there were 9 firms that went through that process, the last RFP, and we were the firm that they had selected.
And we do have our procurement team lead, if you'd like her to speak to that process. Wonderful.
Move, approve agenda item 3C.
Thank you. If I can just make one comment, I truly do mean this, and I know that you have some board members that are familiar with our firm. We don't work with everybody. We are very excited to work with you guys. I think you do fantastic work, and I think we're going to be able to help elevate the story and the positive things that you're doing.
Thank you to the board for your approval, and again, thank you for being here with us today.
All right, the last action item we have is to approve funding for bully centers, family-supported housing. Ms. Bogus.
Good morning, Karen Bogus, Chief Operating Officer. Back in December, we had a presentation to the board regarding some of the Department of Housing and Urban Development national priority changes that have been happening. And at that time, we were talking about some of the funding may not have been renewed. Since then, BOLI, we've been updated that BOLI did get notification that their funding has been approved for their family supported housing program. However, that the funding they are not expecting to get until September. So their contract ends the end of this month, and so they really need bridge funding to help them to continue this program for families from March until September. And then as part of their contract with us, we would special condition requiring them, once they get the federal money, that they return those funds to JWB. The Family Supported Housing Program is for 4 BOLI-owned and operated buildings and serves 83 families, including 115 children, where 40 of those children are under the age of 5. 75 of them are between the ages of 6 and 17. And so the goal is to keep continuity and these families together and housed. Services include case management, employment supports, coordination with schools and healthcare providers, and interventions designed to stabilize families and prevent child welfare involvement. The bridge funding would ensure program continuity only in the event that BOLI does not receive its federal funding. And again, we would special condition the contract for them, requiring them to pay the funds back. I will read the action items. The first one is to request for approval of a single source procurement and funding of a total of $317,974 to the Family Supported Housing Program at BOLI centers. The second is to request for approval authorizing the Chief Executive Officer to execute the new agreement and all related documents with BOLI. And the third is to request for approval of an allocation amendment from the Family Services Initiative, Children and Family Services Pool, to the Family Supported Housing Program at BOLI centers. I'll open up for questions.
Question. So I know the funding was recently passed by Congress for this year. Is that still the status, that they're not going to get their funding until September, or has that changed?
And I'm sorry, Kevin Maroon is here from BOLI as the CEO. That is what we have been told, is that they have not officially gotten a letter, although they understand that there's been approval. And the expectation is that by the time all of this gets going, they're not getting the funding until September.
So that's still the current status?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
And Karen, just to clarify, once the funding comes, we'll be reimbursed for those funds.
Correct.
Any other questions? Can I have a motion, is there a motion for the approval of the single source procurement amount?
I'll move to approve action item 1.
All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. The second portion is for the CEO to execute the agreement. Do I have a motion for that?
I'll move to approve action item number 2, Sarah Molo.
All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. The third is for the allocation amendment. Is there a motion for that?
I'll move to approve action item number 3, Sarah Molo.
All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. What's next? Presentation. Okay, so we have a presentation from Ms. Hinson about our favorite babies.
Good morning, everyone. Time to have some fun. Not that that wasn't fun. My name is Alicia Henson. I'm the Associate Manager of Marketing for JWB, and I'm the lead for the Turbo Babies campaign. And Mike McCurrick has given me the name of Turbo Mom. So I'm also a mother of a 10-month-old at home. So I'm thrilled to walk you through our annual report and show you how far we've driven this campaign. So today we'll cover our 2025 reach and impressions. We'll look at the numbers and the way that we reached folks. We will talk about our Turbo Babies events. Christina Quintana, our newest team member, will walk you through how we went out to the community and reached people where they were. And then Jomar Lopez, our senior strategic researcher, is going to talk about the measurement of the impact of our work, and I'll come back and share a little bit about 2026 and where we plan to go. So when we talk about reach, this graph here on the screen, we are talking about intentional face-to-face education. So that education is done in 3 main ways. We have campaign partners who are out in the audience today. We have community events that we go to. Yeah. And we have direct reach from JWB staff. So that includes when Christina and I go out to a mom's support group. That includes when somebody says, hey, I have a neighbor who's welcoming a baby. It also includes our birthday mailers that come through website registrations. And so that is just a little bit of how we're reaching folks. One of the places that took off this year was our Turbo Babies events. And so those are our sponsored events, the things like the racetrack read-alongs that we do with the libraries, the Fueling Fatherhood event that we did in collaboration with the Pinellas Fatherhood Collaborative. So those are just some of the ways that parents are getting very, very excited about Turbo Babies and wanting to learn more about how to keep their baby on track developmentally. And here is a moment to celebrate. So last year, in year 2, we were approaching that 10,000 reach mark. And you can see here in year 3, we just blew it out the water. So that is a testament to everyone's hard work, the team here at JWB, everyone really picking up this campaign as their own and championing it. So we're just so thankful. So we recently had a chance to go out and talk about Turbo Babies on the news and news stations. So as we were gearing up for our sponsored events, I went out and talked about the joy of reading. And at that time, I was an extremely new mother, and it was just so meaningful just to talk about the joy of book sharing, giving that real life testimony about how that makes a difference. And I can say reading books is my child's favorite thing to do, besides running all around, but yeah. So that was just a great, great opportunity to do that. And so here, I think I might have missed a slide. There we go. And so we recently presented to a group of Johns Hopkins social workers, and I asked them, have you all heard about Turbo Babies? And there were a few hands that shot up. One said, I saw a billboard. And so we know those things are working, but here are the numbers to back up those anecdotes. And so print and digital media is a huge part of boosting awareness. So we reach new parents through places like Tampa Bay Parenting Magazine. We reach decision makers, those at the top, through publications like Axios. And so we know that we live in a digital world, and digital and print publications are so important, especially when we're trying to reach a variety of folks. We're not just trying to reach the parents, we're trying to reach the grandparents, the uncles and aunts, the daycare directors, all types of folks. So all of this is really important. And the most important part of it is that these touch points build brand awareness, and they help us be a recognized name, a household name. And so here you can see our website presence continues to grow with nearly 18,000 website views. TurboBabies.com, our website, our microsite, continues to be a way that we can get our message out beyond Pinellas County without adding a single cent to our budget. So that is really important. It's a great tool for us getting our message out and a place for folks to land and get all of the great information. You can see here even some folks viewing from across the pond, so that's always interesting. And now I will welcome up Christina Quintana, our new marketing specialist, to talk about community events.
Good morning. My name is Christina Quintana, and before Leadership Pinellas introduced me to JWB, I spent 21 years committed to building confidence in my high school students. The number of people in Tampa Bay that call me Miss Q could fill a racetrack. Now, as a marketing specialist, I carry that same passion forward, building confidence in parents and caregivers as their child's first and best teacher. We know learning begins at birth, and community events are a great place to meet and support these families. Our premier event is our racetrack read-alongs. They take place simultaneously across multiple Pinellas County Library locations. The read-alongs are a chance for families to bond with baby through reading and for families to learn more about Turbo Baby's resources, like our brain-boosting activity cards. This year, this event scaled from 3 library locations to 4 and included a location with bilingual books and guest readers. In total, the racetrack read-alongs drew in a crowd of 695 parents and caregivers. From firemen to radio hosts to mayors and JWB board members, our amazing guest speakers read books to families. And thank you so much to everyone who volunteered their time for this impactful event. And if you'd like to be involved this year, email me. We also want to sincerely thank our library partners who are instilling a love of reading in our youngest learners every day. A new Turbo Babies event that we added in 2025 was developed in partnership with the Pinellas Fatherhood Collaborative. The goal of this partnership is to enhance the connection between fathers and their babies. It was amazing to see families with multiple generations of fathers in attendance, all having a blast with their little ones. This event was a spectacular success with 400 attendees. The highlight of the day was the Baby Tona 500 centimeters race as the kiddos raced towards their dads in the cutest competition in Tampa Bay. For those of you who missed it, here's a short video with highlights from the day.
It is an amazing day. It gives us an opportunity to bring kids together, families together, who's driving to a sense of belonging to the community.
Yeah, that last one, that family practiced. They were at the racetrack read along, told me they were going to practice, and they killed it. So it was amazing. So we loved watching these families connect with their baby. And this year we look forward to an even bigger crowd and hope the board members, the audience, or anyone watching at home will join us on this family fun day. In addition to the events we coordinate, we also attend community and baby-centered events throughout the community, or throughout the county. From child care centers and medical facilities to neighborhood celebrations and parent education, the campaign expanded its reach in 2025. Every event is an opportunity to solidify these partnerships with our variety of organizations so that every parent knows about Turbo Babies. We advertise these events through our parent newsletter, through JWB's social media account on Turbo Tuesdays, and on our website, turbobabies.com. It was a busy year. The Turbo Babies team attended over 35 community events and shared our message with over 8,000 parents and caregivers. Thank you so much to our incredible Turbo Babies partners who keep our campaign moving forward. Hey, I don't even have to tell them to raise their flags. We have over 50 partner organizations right now. We're growing constantly all the time. And thank you so much to our teammates that are here today. We have representatives from Pinellas County Libraries, the Children's Medical Center, the Department of Health, the Florida Department of Health, Elios, Ultimate Medical Academy, Evera Health, Help Me Grow, Pinellas Licensing Board, and United Way Suncoast. You guys are awesome. Taking time to celebrate in person with our partners is very important to us. And last year, we facilitated our second partner training, our Partner Refueling Lunch and Learn. Not only did attendees network and connect with one another, but it gave Alicia and I a chance to train new partners and energize current partners. 80 people were in attendance that day. There, we launched a new training video to increase accessibility for partners to use within their organizations. At the end of the training video, they participated in a checkpoint challenge, a quick online test to review the campaign's key messaging. Since the refueling event, 145 people have taken the checkpoint challenge to refresh their knowledge and recommit to the mission of Turbo Babies. I feel so lucky to be a part of this team, and I look forward to growing the pit crew even more in 2026, and we're just getting started. Now for the next lap of the race, I'll hand it over to our third member of our Turbo team, Jomar Lopez.
Thank you, Christina. So good morning, ladies and gentlemen of the board. My name is Jomar Lopez. I am the Senior Strategic Researcher here at JWB. I've been with JWB for the last 6 years, this month actually. So it's been a very quick 6 years for me. But in my role, aside from the strategic plan, I also serve to evaluate our community initiatives. So today I'm going to drive you through Turbo Babies. So as a refresher, you will see our theory of change. On the left, we summarize through the inputs and activities, the work that Alicia and Christina do throughout Pinellas County. As we move to the right with the output, outcomes, and impact, you are seeing the short-term, mid-term, and long-term results that we expect and assume to occur. Therefore, we evaluate to ensure that it's occurring. There we go. Here we see some of the key attitudes and perceptions that we're gaining from the parents and caregivers who are being educated on Turbo Babies. As you can see, overall there is high to very high agreement with parents' contribution to a baby's brain growth, with parents serving as their baby's first teacher, parents' understanding of the Turbo Babies activities, their enjoyment of the Turbo Babies of those activities, and then the parents' willingness to share the activities as well as information with other parents and caregivers within their community and neighborhoods. We are receiving responses on our surveys from all over Pinellas County, namely over 30 zip codes to represent all of the parents and caregivers who are completing the surveys. This is representing the majority of Pinellas County, as indicated by those zip codes in orange. When we look at those zip codes in gray, those are the zip codes that we are trying to race towards by doing more tailored and targeted outreach. And in no time, Alicia and Christina will be recruiting more parents and caregivers to our PIC crew. Several themes appear within the feedback we're getting within those surveys, and overall, the feedback that we're receiving is overwhelmingly positive. Parents and caregivers are reporting gratitude and appreciation for the Turbo Babies materials and information. There's overall positive impact on learning and development. The parents are finding the activities fun and engaging. They're enjoying spending that quality time with their children. Nevertheless, there are continuous opportunities for improvement. So parents would like to see more relatable books for children of different ages. And then we are trying to address some of the logistical gaps. Specifically, Alicia is working with our pediatric providers to ensure the curriculum is being implemented with fidelity. And looking more at a snapshot of the great feedback that we're getting from the parents and caregivers, they're saying things like, I appreciated learning new techniques for engaging with my toddler. Thank you for being so helpful and guiding me to help my baby's brain grow. And again, we're getting that opportunity for improvement, specifically parents desiring a variety of books for children of different age groups. So with that being said, I will hand it back to Alicia, who will lead us towards the finish line.
All right, so as you can see, we have come such a long way, and we have many miles to go. In 2026, we are going to focus on our library partners, pediatricians, and child care centers, making sure that so many of those partners have the bags for their children and the Turbo Babies bags for their children. We are also going to partner with Parent ProTech and create content around digital safety for Turbo Babies, because we know no app replaces the lab. We want parents to know that this is the FaceTime they should be having with their children, and to maybe put the phone down a little bit. So we will also be presenting at the CWLA National Conference in Arlington, Virginia, sharing with organizations there how they can implement a partner approach to build their own pit crew. And May 2nd is actually National Baby Day, so put that on your calendars. We are going to have a Drive to VPK event at Great Explorations Museum, and that event is going to share the components, the messaging of Turbo Babies, but also enforce the importance of enrolling in early learning programs. We know that there is a difference when children get that VPK education, so we want to make sure that parents are aware of that as well. And throughout the year, we are going to have focused attention on getting more parent surveys, getting focus groups together so that we know what parents really need and making sure that the campaign aligns with that. And so with that, here are some save the dates to add to your already overflowing calendars. We would love to see our board there represented if you have any chance. As you saw in that Fueling Fatherhood video, there's so many great chances to interact with the community, get into new parents, get into the presence of new parents, and we just are really, really excited for what's to come. So with that, I will bring Christina and Jomar back up, and we will field any questions.
A great presentation. Hi, everybody. I just wanted to make a connection to the enrollment in VPK. I know we have a number of providers here. I saw Lindsay, and Pinellas County should be proud that it has the third highest kindergarten readiness rate in the state, just behind St. John's and Sarasota. And I think that's in part because of a lot of the efforts that JWB and others have done in early learning. And there's so much research that shows what that means for the rest of a child's life. So continue to expand the reach. I look forward to 20,000 or 25,000 impressions next year.
All right.
And I just wanted to say I really enjoyed the presentation, having gone to the Daytona 500 this last weekend with my brother and my two sons, who are now grown. The whole theme, that was awesome. That was a lot of fun, so appreciate that. Ms. Rutledge asked me to bring up a question. She was sharing with a provider or speaking with a provider over the weekend and had trouble finding the Turbo Babies website. And it sounds like it's a separate website. It's not the JWB website. And is there a link on the JWB website? Because that's what she was looking for and or requesting.
Yes, there is a link on there. We could probably make sure that everybody has the information. The website is turbobabies.com. But yeah, absolutely.
Thank you. It was a
Ms. McShay.
fun presentation.
No question. I just wanted to say, as a newer board member, this was the first community event that I attended, was the racetrack read-along in St. Petersburg. And I was just blown away from walking up to the door, and there was a huge crowd just out front, to talking to the parents inside and just how they were grabbing their neighbors to come along. Just the way it flowed from, you know, the read-along to then to another room for the Music Man, or I don't know his particular name.
Mr.
Everyone just loved it, and I was just really impressed with it. So thank you for all that you're doing.
Thank you so much.
Yes, I just wanted to say thank you as well. You guys know that Turbo Babies is my favorite. They're my favorite babies because I love other people's babies.
It's the best.
Thank you, thank you. All right, if that's all, thank you so much for your time.
All right, I will pass it off to Mr. McCurrick for his report.
Before I started on my report, once again, I think you all should be very proud of the team on Turbo Babies. They've just done an outstanding job, and they've created an opportunity to grow and develop this moving forward. What's really important, I happen to be, as a past board member, had the opportunity early on to spend time with Alicia and the team as they were beginning to build these programs. And in many cases, I would go out with Alicia to make a presentation on Turbo Babies. And the most interesting part of that is that every woman in that room that was there to participate immediately came over to nurture and develop and make sure that Alicia had food, made sure that she was well taken care of, and that she was receiving all the love that she could get for having that new child. And as we continued to move on and she began to get closer to her due date, that just continued to be even more visible and the like. I think Turbo Babies has great potential moving forward. Thanks, Kevin, for your comments. It's right in line with Sleep Baby Safely. Sleep Baby Safely has gone statewide. I expect Turbo Babies to do the same because of its value and what it's captured going forward. So the leadership team, Alicia and team, have just done an amazing job. Everyone who's participated, everyone part of the staff, raise your flags again, because you really are awesome. And you have exceeded all expectations, but it's not over yet. So please continue moving this forward. Okay, moving on to my report. You have it again, as I've done in the past few through months. You have my report in hand of the things that have been accomplished over the last 240 days. But I do want to bring up one additional component that's probably not in the report. I know you have been getting a number of calls or questions about our, some financials, how we've been spending funds and the like. We have had Karen lead the process of doing internal interviews and reviews of all the data. Yesterday, we presented to most of you on the board our findings, but I'm not stopping there. What I've also is contracted with Laura Brock, who was an ex-CEO of our organization. She's also a forensic auditor, and I've asked her to come in and to review our policies, our procedures, to review our financials, to ensure that there is nothing that's been missed. As of today, and what we presented yesterday to the board, we have no issues in the financial side. We have not misspent a penny. I've brought every opportunity I've had to spend funds have been brought to you to make those decisions. So clearly, please get back to your constituents and let them know that there is not any issues as we see them today, and Laura Brock will continue through that process with us. We are going to be looking very closely at, and unfortunately I hadn't gotten to it at this point yet, on the P cards. I have a plan for P cards, but I've asked the leadership team to give me their plan for P cards, and I've now also asked Laura Brock to do the same. I'll combine the three, I'll bring them together, and then hopefully in this very short period of time, we'll have a recommendation and a move towards consolidating P card usage and how we best manage those funds. So other than that, that's my report. If there are any questions, I'm happy to answer.
Mr. McCarrick, if I could just comment on the purchasing card. As the head of the Finance Committee, I did ask to just have that reviewed. Seemed like JWB had a lot of purchasing cards. That's just bad practice from a financial standpoint. To be really clear, there was no question about any employee using it incorrectly. There's just a regular process that government and nonprofits should use. And so that was the purpose of that. It's gone fine. There's no issue there, but I wanted to make sure it was clear that the Finance Committee was the one who asked for that.
And our objective is to drastically reduce the number of P cards that are out there. For whatever reason, they were expanded during the COVID timeframe. There's no need for that many, and in fact, most are not being used. So there is a plan in play. I said I wanted to make it the leadership's plan as well, and get recommendations from Ms. Brock to ensure that we're following all the policies and procedures that are set in play by the board, and we will quickly make that transition.
All right, thank you, Mr. McCurrick. Next, we have the informational items. I just want to draw your attention to the first one. There is a list of the next board meeting dates and the trim hearing dates. If everyone could just take a look at those. There's a couple of options for the July board meeting. There's proposed dates right up at the top there. And then on the second page, 2 options for in September. Oh, where is the calendar? Oh, here's the calendar. Yes. And a calendar.
Are we trying to decide this now, or is this just for us to internalize and?
You don't have to decide now, you could. We sort of had, some of you thought maybe we should do it now, some of you thought maybe we should do it next month, but it is a challenge with all of your calendars, and trim is a challenge because we cannot conflict with the school board or the county. And so there's only certain days and times that we can have trim. So the staff also prepared on this calendar sheet down here other options for possible trim pairings that might work for you guys. And so it doesn't have to be set today, but just, you know, food for thought probably, or set it, whatever you guys decide would be best.
Does anyone have a strong opinion about?
I would just suggest Olivia do what she's done in the past and just poll us and see what works best, and we'll go from there.
Agreed.
Yes. All right, thank you. Is there any other discussion on any of the information items? Nope, hearing none. Now, what are we, what?
You're on to the staff.
Oh, anniversaries? Oh, that's Mr. Bartlett's job.
All right. Are you ready? January anniversaries. Allison Putnam, 1 year. Barbara Bennett, 1 year. Jerome Kenyard, 2 years. Jennifer Dodd, 4 years. And Yardis Garcia, 19 years. Congratulations.
So now we are on to our open agenda. Are there any comment cards?
I don't have any cards. I just want to make certain that staff back there didn't receive any. Oh, wait, looks like somebody has a card. Okay.
This is not going to be good.
Regarding the CEO search.
Thank you.
I will, you have 3 minutes.
All right.
Excuse me. There's a button. To just push the button so you can be heard.
All right, thank you. I'm Chip Webster. I'm former chairman of the Finance Committee at Central Florida Urban League. The Tampa Bay Times recently published a damaging portrayal of Glenn Gilzine as fecklessly reckless, and the portrayal was not accurate. I know because I've oversaw the financial management. I sent this op-ed to the paper. They have not printed it. As chairman of the Finance Committee of the Central Florida Urban League during Mr. Gilzine's tenure as president and CEO, my responsibility was to protect the organization's financial integrity, ensure compliance with funding requirements. I reviewed audits, approved budgets, and asked the difficult questions. If there had been any mismanagement, I would have confronted it. There was none. When Mr. Gilzine took leadership of the Central Florida Urban League, it was $1.2 million in debt and faced serious financial uncertainty. Through the disciplined management and stronger internal controls, the organization moved from the debt to $4 million in cash. Contracts, equity, financial systems were improved and stability returned to the organization. In 2018, the affiliate earned the national recognition of the Urban League Affiliate of the Year based on governance, financial health, and program impact. Achieving this recognition reflected the careful leadership and accountability. During these 8 years at the Urban League, he managed millions of dollars in public and private funding supporting children, families, housing, and youth services. Independent audits were conducted and reviewed and approved by the board. Financial policies were enforced, and at no point did the Finance Committee uncover any misuse of funds, self-dealing, or unethical behavior. Much of the recent criticism comes from allegations from Mr. Gilzine's later service in the Orange County Supervisors of Election. Allegations are not findings. No court, ethics body, or law enforcement agency has concluded that he misappropriated funds or acted for the personal benefit. What occurred was a legal dispute over statutory authority as a matter typically resolved through audits and courts. Claims about payroll disruptions omit the important context. The county payments were frozen during that investigation, creating a temporary cash flow issue. No employees went unpaid. No funds were diverted for personal use. Now, as Mr. Gilzine is being considered as a finalist to lead the Juvenile Welfare Board of Pinellas County, it is essential to focus on what
Sir, your
matters
time
most,
is up.
the children. Am I out of time?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, Mr. Latvala?
Are we in open discussion now?
Yes.
Yes.
I appreciate the gentleman speaking, and I actually was going to ask this question tomorrow, but it brings up a good time to ask it now. And my question, Colleen, is about our insurance policy. And if I guess now would be, I don't expect an answer now, but if you can get us one by tomorrow, I would appreciate it. And certainly the paper that the gentleman speaks of has written things about me that were stretches and untruths, so I do agree with him there. But the question that I have regards government entities that have accused an applicant for CEO of misspending public funds, not the media, but government entities. And one of the things was naming a scholarship after himself. And I'm not arguing the veracity of the claims or anything like that, whether it's right or wrong, who was in the right or wrong. But our insurance policy, as one of the exclusions, talks about a term advertising injury among one of the things that could be excluded. And so my question, and I've spoken to an attorney that I trust, that says that this is a worthwhile thing to bring up. My question is, if we have a future issue, could we be excluded from coverage with the knowledge of knowing the past issues with government spending? And would it invalidate our coverage?
I will endeavor to get you an answer.
Thank you. Is there anything else? Right. Can I have a motion to adjourn?
All good?
All right.
You did a
Yay.
fantastic job today.
I only forgot a few words.